back up. They're going that way, guys. You guys gotta back up.
Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis had an unexpected encounter yesterday, following a heated exchange on the social media platform X, formerly Twitter. Let's just say it was destined to happen, and their interaction went far beyond the verbal jabs they had traded online. The tension began when Crawford was returning from the Ring Magazine Awards in London, while Davis, having recently stepped away from camp, was attending a meeting outside the U.S. as he prepared to resume training upon his return. Fate brought Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis face to face, creating the perfect setting for chaos to unfold. Davis was the first to spot Crawford, and instead of minding his own business, he confronted the former undisputed welterweight champion. Davis questioned Crawford about their recent online feud, but Crawford, unfazed, dismissed him with a few words and walked away. Unrelenting, Davis continued shouting until Crawford's team intervened, pulling the pound-for-pound king away from the escalating tension. Things are heating up between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis, while fans are eagerly anticipating a potential Crawford versus Canelo showdown. There's growing speculation about Crawford and Davis facing off in some form. Whether it's a boxing match, a street fight, or something more, their rivalry seems far from over. This escalating tension traces back to the Ring Magazine Awards in London on Saturday, where the initial spark of their feud began. Davis, notably, played a role in the drama that has since captured the attention of the boxing world. The Ring Magazine Awards in London brought together boxing's elite this weekend, but one notable absence stood out: Gervonta Davis. Despite his unbeaten record of 30 fights with 28 knockouts and plans to retire in 2025, Davis was nowhere to be seen. His absence has sparked speculation, with some attributing it to strained relations with Riyadh Season and Sheikh Turki Alec, who also owns Ring Magazine. Unhappy about being left out, Davis took to his X account to express his displeasure, posting a series of criticisms toward the organizers and attendees. Although he later deleted the post, Terence Crawford seized the moment to mock him, escalating the dispute on social media. While the exact reasons for Davis' exclusion remain unclear, it's evident that his frustration, combined with Crawford's taunts, has fueled the feud that continues to dominate headlines. The two champions have been clashing for a while, exchanging barbs and taunts. Recent reports suggest that Terence Crawford, who recently met with Errol Spence Jr., may be edging closer to an epic showdown with Canelo Alvarez later this year. Taking a jab at Gervonta Davis, Crawford laughed and posted, "I see somebody's mad they weren't invited to the Ring Magazine Gala. I remember being left out. That's why, when they let me in, I crashed the party." His post included mocking emojis, aimed at a now-deleted post from Davis that was partially recovered by users. To understand Crawford's taunt, we need to revisit the context of Davis' original remarks. Though the posts were later deleted, several publications captured and reported on them. In his post, Gervonta Davis questioned, "Why didn't they invite everybody? But they invited people they deal with. Get out of here. Stop bum eating." Davis then appeared to call out Eddie Hearn, saying, "Look at that little rat thinking he came up on something. Now tell them all to fight each other since they have such a heavy roster." He also had harsh words for Errol Spence Jr., urging him to take the opportunity to fight among the guests, while criticizing the Sheikh for lacking knowledge about the sport. Gervonta Davis took aim in another now-deleted post on X, seemingly alluding to the Riyadh Season head. "They want to act like this guy is good for boxing when he's not good at anything. If he's so great, why isn't he building up people from where he's from? This guy knows nothing about boxing, and yet that's who they're turning to," Davis wrote. Davis went on to rant about how, unlike him, many fighters are willing to leave American shores to chase money, only to end up with barely any crowd at their fights. The feud between Davis and Crawford escalated, apparently sparked by Davis bragging to Crawford about his wealth. Davis, seemingly irked by Crawford's response, fired back in a series of since-deleted posts, calling out Bud over his earnings. "I still make more than you. Y'all think he's chasing greatness? He's not. That's what he has to do to make decent money," Davis wrote in a since-deleted post. He continued, "The first thing a rich fool tells another rich fool is that he has more money. I bet I have more investments than you, and I don't owe $1 in taxes. You can't buy anything I can't buy, and that's a fact. Let's see who has the longest-lasting money, smart boy." Bud Crawford fired back, taunting Davis with similar claims, which sparked further exchanges peppered with insults. Fans might recall that during a press conference for the Lamont Roach fight last year, Davis surprised everyone by announcing plans to retire from boxing by the end of the year. If Davis plans to retire by 2025, many fans might question why he cares about formalities like not receiving an invitation. Nonetheless, this isn't the first time Terence Crawford has taken a jab at the Baltimore native. Shortly after defeating Errol Spence Jr. to become an undisputed champion, the Nebraska southpaw heard about Gervonta Davis, claiming he could beat him at 147 0s. Speaking on The Breakfast Club, an unbothered Terence Crawford acknowledged Gervonta Davis' skill in the ring, but emphasized that there are levels in boxing. Crawford downplayed his earnings another thing coming. While a potential clash between the two American boxing icons may never happen for Crawford, there's only one fight ahead: his bout against Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis are currently 3 weight classes apart, but they've competed in the same divisions in the past. Crawford started his career at lightweight, where Davis is now a world champion. Crawford became undisputed at super lightweight, a division where Davis has also won a title. Crawford has since moved up, dominating the welterweight division before making his 154-pound debut last year. Davis, however, remains at lightweight, holding the WBA world title and knocking out all challengers. The hard-hitting Baltimore native has claimed in the past that he could knock Crawford out, possibly in jest, but the larger Crawford has warned him not to punch above his weight.
As a metal shield and you have a glass shield, talk about the punch resistance. What do you think it takes to assess it, man?
While a fight between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis is highly unlikely, some believe it wouldn't be a clear-cut outcome. In an interview with Real Life Productions, multi-division world champion Roy Jones Jr. called it a good damn fight, suggesting it would be competitive if the two met just under the welterweight limit. Jones gave Davis a solid chance, stating, "I don't see anybody around that's going to beat Bud unless it's someone way bigger than him. But don't sleep on the fact that if he and Tank fought at about 145, that's a good damn fight, you understand me?"
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
See, okay. What about
Roy Jones Jr. pointed out that both Crawford and Davis have high boxing IQs, with Davis' explosiveness being the key difference between him and Errol Spence. "Explosive fighters can go a long way," Jones said, reflecting on how explosiveness helped him in his own career. The two American champions will continue their separate paths, with Crawford targeting a fight against super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez, which would require a 14-pound jump. Meanwhile, Davis is set to face Lamont Roach Jr. in March before, according to his latest press conference, retiring by the end of the year. Fans of Tank Davis can look forward to this bout with Roach Jr., scheduled for March 1st at the Barclays Center.
On the other hand, I don't see nobody around that's gonna beat Bud unless somebody way bigger than him. But don't sleep on it.
While a fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez seems poised to happen, Gervonta Davis, has now inserted himself into the conversation. Reports suggest that Crawford and Canelo have reached an agreement for a mega fight this year, bringing together two of the sport's best pound-for-pound fighters. The deal reportedly came to ours isn't quite as thrilled.
Tank fought at about 145. That's a good daggone fight, you understand me? Matter of fact, I'm saying that's a good damn fight, you understand me? Because they both have very high IQs and Tank is very explosive. See, that's the one thing Tank